Welcome to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast, the show designed to serve you up evidence-based sports nutrition advice from the experts. Hi, I'm your host Taryn, accredited practicing dietitian, advanced sports dietitian, and founder of Dietitian Approved. Listen as I break down the latest evidence to give you practical, easy to digest strategies to train hard, recover faster, and perform at your best. You have so much potential, and I want to help you unlock that with the power of nutrition. Let's get into it. Joining me today on the podcast is two Academy athletes. We have Kelly Estes and Chris Tubbs, who are both based in the US actually. Chris just completed Chattanooga and escaped from Alcatraz and is prepping for his fourth Ironman Cozumel later this year. And Kelly has been dabbling in lots of Olympic distance races, a 17.3, and is gearing up for his very first Ironman in California in October later this year. So welcome, lads.
Hey, Taryn. Hey, Kelly.
So both of you, I've asked you to come on the podcast for me because as a side benefit of joining the Academy, you are saving more money than the whole program is costing you, which just blows my mind. And I know that you're not alone in how many things that you took, like pills, potions, supplements, sports products that you maybe thought you needed or things that you were using that just aren't quite right for you. And Chris, I remember so clearly when you were thinking about joining the Academy, one of your biggest hesitations was that if you joined, if I could help you, make sure I could get everything that you needed from your food, because you were so worried that I'd take all of your supplements away from you and you'd be left an empty shell of a human.
Yes. I couldn't imagine not having all the supplements and all the bottles around and the organization of those pills. So you absolutely did it.
So what sort of things were you taking that you are no longer taking?
Oh, gosh. I wrote a list down for this one because I was curious. Supplement-wise, I was taking lots of vitamins, K2, D3, magnesium, because I cramped quite a bit, and I thought magnesium would help with that. B-complex, vitamin E. So that was the supplements. And then the additions, like protein collagen. I was using collagen every day in things. A supplement called Athletic Greens for more vitamins and plant-based stuff. Alt Red, so basically a vasodilator. And then ketones. I had bought into the idea about taking ketones would make me a better athlete and clearer minded. That stuff is so expensive. And all of those things, I've been able to remove them by eating food. As simple as it sounds, it didn't occur to me. I didn't know how to do it then beforehand. But eating food has allowed me to remove it all. And I think the only thing that I'll probably dabble with adding back is the magnesium for the cramping. On the long sessions that I'm outside, it's really hot and I'm sweaty. I've got to make sure I got enough the salts, and I think magnesium will help with that too.
Maybe, but there's no evidence that magnesium does anything to assist with muscle cramping, the exercise-associated ones. So perhaps hold the phone on that one. And
okay.
It's not something I would tend to pull someone off, but it's not something I'm going to recommend for cramping, because for you, we've figured out that you're probably a pretty heavy sweater, and hydration is one of the first things we need to dial in and see how that goes, because it could be as simple as that. And if that's not working, we can look at some sodium and sweat testing. And then if that's still not working, we get you stronger and do some more strength in the gym. And if you're going to do a hilly course, you run on hills. And then maybe if that's not working, then we could look at magnesium.
Step 7.
Yeah. Priority bottom.
It. And this is why we're here.
So how long did it take you to remove those things? Was it like a cold turkey overnight? Did you slowly remove things piece by piece? How did that work?
It was a gradual shift as we went through the periodization of eating and then adding foods that were whole in nutrients. I began doing that. I just stopped taking them. I found that my energy levels were good, and I didn't take some of these other things like the AG1s or the Alt Red and the ketones. So they just went away, and I liked not having to spend that money. So I didn't force it. Even though I was comfortable, I was uncomfortable not taking it. And I worried how I would perform, but I wasn't racing. So it was experimental and it felt good. So I continued to do it. And now I'll just use up what I have at some point and I won't buy anymore.
And so you have raced a couple of times on not all of that magic concoction of pills and potions. And how did you go?
Oh, man, I felt like I was full of jet fuel. It was amazing. I actually had to hold myself back on the bike. I felt so good. I had a plan for how much power I was to hold and cadence. And while I was riding, I would ride above that. And it felt so good. I had to remind myself, no, you still got to run afterwards. Slow down, buddy. I don't care how good you feel.
Yep.
I've heard stories over and over again of people doing that, riding, feeling great. And then when they get to the run, their legs, it's like, I quit. You blew me out on the bike. And so I'm done. And I didn't want to do that to myself. I felt good. I wanted to continue feeling that way through the whole race. See if I could continue to maintain the proper nutrition and stay that way through the red carpet.
Yeah, amazing.
And I did.
Amazing. Could be another reason for your cramps, though, too, like absolutely smashing yourself on a bike because you're feeling so supercharged.
Yes, I'm sure that contributed greatly to that.
So, again, another vote for some hydration and training over magnesium.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a dollar figure then for how much you're saving on a monthly basis from removing all of those things from your diet?
Yes, it's roughly $350 US per month. Yes, and that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing to me because it makes me think, well, what else am I wasting money or not being financially responsible and tight with, my controls. But it absolutely paid for the course that you had very quickly. So you're undercharging, Taryn.
Thank you. It's definitely a side benefit I didn't kind of consider. Like one of my passions is to teach you how to eat properly now for performance, but also long-term health. And yeah, the amount of money that you're saving, that's more than what the academy costs on a monthly basis in US dollars. So that's just insane.
Yes. Well, I will also say it's actually more savings than that because the way that I buy groceries and what I prepare is less expensive than what I was buying before, just helter-skelter buying things and going to restaurants. Now I'm much more conscious of the quality of food that I eat, and I even prepare it in bulk over the weekend. It's much less expensive, but it's more fulfilling and satisfying when I eat it. Some of that is quantifiable. Some of that is not really quantifiable. So it's in excess of $350 a month.
That's insane. You're saving money by spending money and investing on your nutrition.
Absolutely. And I'm becoming a better athlete. That's really that's the goal. I didn't go into this to save money on food. I went into this to learn how to become a better athlete and perform at a higher level. I was already spending the money. So this is a benefit that I didn't expect, and I love it. All
right, Kelly. Kelly is an engineer, and he tells me he has a spreadsheet. So I'm really excited to hear about Kelly's detailed spreadsheet. But what type of things were you taking before that you're no longer taking or just don't feel like you need to do?
Some of it was vitamins, a daily multivitamin, and calcium and magnesium.
Are you a triathlete sick of fumbling around in the dark with your nutrition? Is nutrition the missing link in helping you reach your goals? And do you want to maximize your training efforts and level up your performance? Of course you do. Come and join me for free at Fuel School. It's a free 3-day live and online nutrition training week. And I've designed it to give you the nutritional edge in 2024 and lay the foundation of your day-to-day fueling and race nutrition. It's on the 14th to the 16th of January, 9 a.m. Brisbane time, so Australian Eastern Standard Time every day, which is 3 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. CST, and 6 p.m. EST on the 13th to the 15th of January. To register, head to fuel.school. Yep, www.fuel.school. Whether you're a seasoned triathlete or just starting your nutrition journey, this free event is your opportunity to learn from an advanced sports dietitian and triathlon nutrition specialist and transform the way you approach your nutrition for 2024. Fuel.school, it's free. I'll see you there.
Primarily. And then there was the sports drinks. I had a drink that I would have before exercise, and then there was a drink for after exercise. There's actually 2 different kinds of drinks for after exercise. And then there was a drink throughout the day that was kind of this shake type thing that just had the advertisement is that it had all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients you needed for the day. And so those things, I was really relying on those every day, building those into my exercise routine, that I had all these different products that I took. So, some of it's vitamins, a lot of it's with these sports supplements and drinks that I was taking that was adding up. I mean, the stuff was really expensive. It was costing a lot of money. Similar to the ketones, the products are really expensive. But I wasn't really paying attention to the cost as much as I was paying attention to, am I doing the right things to help my performance, thinking that I was doing the right things. But that's what led me to your program. Was there's all this information out there that was really confusing about what do I really need to be doing? What do I really need to be taking so that I can optimize the money I'm spending? Because eventually you're going to run out. You have a certain amount of money you make, and you got to be careful.
Well, you're retired, so you're technically not making any more money. So yeah, you kind of have to wash those. But I love that you have a spreadsheet, so I have full confidence that you can manage that.
Yeah, now I spend money on other things, the triathlon toys, and not the supplements.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting mindset shift too. I know a lot of triathletes, we want to do as best as we can. We want to perform as best as we can. And so anything that is advertised to us or marketed to us, we're like, I don't want to miss out, so I'm going to try that. And so you do end up getting all this stuff that you feel like you should take because you don't want to get left behind. But then you lose food out of that equation by doing that, and you just end up taking all these pills and potions all day long.
Right, because in addition to taking all those pills and potions, I mean, you're still, as a triathlete, trying to understand your nutrition. So you're still out there searching and reading and asking people's advice and doing anything you can to know what you need to do to optimize your performance. So there's still all this nutrition stuff that comes into play. And for me, I was thinking the supplements and these sports drinks and recovery and shakes were all part of the nutrition that was going to get me where I needed to be. But I didn't know. I really didn't know with any certainty until I come along to your program. And that's been really beneficial to help me understand with certainty of what I should be doing, that I didn't have that before.
Bit of confidence and less overwhelm and confusion. A lot of triathletes build their pyramid from the wrong way up. Like they build the tip first, which is 1%ers, the supplements and things like that, and have no idea how to eat on a day-to-day basis. They have no idea how to do recovery properly and pre-training nutrition and what are you doing in training? How do you eat for different types of training days? Like those foundations just don't even exist. But you're wasting $350 a month on stuff that you think is going to make you perform better. But we know that we get the best bang for your buck out of the small, consistent habits that you do on a day-to-day basis. It is recovery. It is periodization. It is fueling for the work required. Like I know that happens, and that's one of the reasons why I built the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program, is to teach athletes from the ground up. And you two are a great testament to how good you can feel when you get that right. How much money are you saving on a monthly basis? Give us the spreadsheet.
Between $450 and $550 a month is how much I'm saving. And like that might be a low number, but it's certainly at least that much. And you'd ask, Chris, how do you transition? Did you just cold turkey or what? And for me, it was pretty much cold turkey, because a lot of the things that I've done over the years, when I try sports nutrition of different kinds, you try it and you kind of feel like it's working or it's not. But if I think it's not working, I just quit taking it, and you never really notice a difference, right? And then you try the next thing. And so for me, I just quit taking or stopped using the sports nutrition stuff, and I haven't noticed a difference. In fact, as I'd mentioned in a previous power hour that we have, is that my energy levels were to the point that in phase one that I didn't need to take naps anymore, because I used to come back from my morning exercise routine.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things that I built in is I would come home, I would eat or drink something, but a lot of times I didn't feel hungry after exercising because I didn't understand the value of post-exercise nutrition. And so I'd come home, I'd lay down, take a nap for an hour or something like that. It really would feel good. Then I would get up and kind of continue my day and maybe eat something then. But with your program, I understand the nutritional targets for pre-exercise, during exercise, and post-exercise, to where my energy levels are such that I seldom think about a nap. I mean, it just is not there anymore. I don't have to worry about that.
And the other thing that I remember clearly from the beginning for you is that We have our own community group, and there's a lot of food photos flying around because I encourage it, but it's awesome. But your pre-training fuel in the beginning was like a UCAN bar and something else that was like packaged supplement type thing. And it hit your targets, but it was getting you to think more broadly from something like that into more real food. And now, like, look at you go. What are you using pre-training now, Kelly?
So some kind of carb, typically some kind of a bagel or carb, maybe some peanut butter, banana, honey type things, depending on what it is. They'll be a little different when I move into carb loading for races, but just my day-to-day stuff, that's a typical breakfast for me. And then I have targets for carb consumption during exercise that I practice all the time that keeps me energized throughout my exercise routines. And then afterwards, I have the post-exercise targets for carb and protein intake that help me stay right where I need to be, where before I might think about, well, I better take some gels with me on the run or on the bike. But I didn't know how much. I was all kind of just trying to figure out what I need to do to feel good or feel like I have enough energy without knowing if I'm hitting the right amount. So it was trial and error. But with your program and the targets that I have, it's a no-brainer that my nutrition's now just as simple as my training program for the run, bike, and swim. I have some daily schedule I do that helps me optimize my performance for training. Well, you've provided that same thing for nutrition to where all I have to do is follow your guidance. And my nutrition's on target, aligned with my training. Amazing.
How good is that? Without having to keep digging through Dr. Google and wasting all that time fumbling around trying to figure it out for yourself.
When I was looking for your program, it was something that I was hoping to find. And the Triathlon Nutrition Academy provided everything in a one-stop shopping. You provide everything I needed to get me where I needed to go, so I don't have to go off and read nutrition articles, nutrition books. I don't have to ask advice. In fact, whenever I see people asking advice, I just kind of rub my hands together and think, man, I know what the answer is to that, or I know what I should be doing. For me, anyway, I knew what I need to do for me.
One of the things that I realized recently and going into the last race, was I felt freer because I wasn't worried about what choices to make and what I should do. I knew. So it was just a matter of planning to do it and the timing of it. So I would say that was another unexpected piece, is the freedom, the mental and emotional freedom of knowing what to do rather than worrying all the time or being uncertain.
Yeah. So I'm glad we went with Chris first, because Kelly, you just blew his number out of the water. So I actually had no idea what your figures were before we hit record. So basically what you're saying is I should increase the price of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy because you guys are saving money per month. Like, you're saving a couple of $100 a month, Kelly, by joining the program. So amazing.
Part of that, though, is convincing people of the savings. It's kind of hard for people to swallow at first, to realize that there is going to be a savings. And so I think there is something there that should be appealing to people. But, most people don't know that up front. They're going to be a little skeptical until they're in the program. But here you have two guys on your podcast today telling you that the proof is there. And you probably could ask about anybody and see that they're saving money. It's just, can they quantify it as easily as we have?
Right.
Because it is an investment. It's an investment financially. It's an investment in time. And I wanted it to be like that so that the people that are inside are committed. Like, I don't want flaky people that like dip in for a week and then are like, it's too hard or can't be bothered. So they're out, because you don't get results unless you do the work. Just like you have to train your muscles to do the distance. Food and nutrition is training as well. It really is the fourth leg of triathlon. So you've got to swim, bike, run, and intersect that with the perfect nutrition to maximally support your training. But I can't do that for you. There's no magic pill or potion. I can't spoon feed you. I can't cook for you either, although I get many requests for that. But I can equip you with the knowledge and skills to manage that for yourself, which honestly is so much more powerful.
So I'd like to add also that the Academy, it starts off with you providing a lot of meaningful information, and you start doing it. And then eventually, like Chris and I, you back away from the supplements and the sports drinks and things like that, and you gain this confidence that this is working. And it just continues to be this transition that goes on for the entire 3 phases of the program and probably beyond, because I can see that for me, I continue to look at healthier things to eat, better meal choices. I eat out at a restaurant maybe once every 2 or 3 months. Or used to, I would eat out more often, but I know at home I'm getting the things I need that's going to give me the energy that I want just through the shopping I do at the grocery store. And so it's ongoing to where, I can see over the next few years, I will just become more disciplined in the nutrition, just like I'm more disciplined in the swim, bike, and run, that it's all going to just continue to get better and better with using what I've learned here in the Triathlon Nutrition Academy.
Chris, you're the same. You used to eat out a lot just because you travel a lot for work. And what have you done to help manage that more yourself?
So I still travel a lot for work. When I eat out, I don't go for what my mouth wants. I go for what is going to make my body feel satisfied and feel good. So I cut back on a lot of the extra salty, rich foods that I like to eat and very little alcohol. And when I'm at home, I prefer to go buy groceries and prepare food where I know what's in it and what it's going to taste like, and I know how I'm going to feel afterwards. The worst thing for me now is to eat something really heavy and that tastes good, but I know I don't like, and then for 3 days, my body feels like shit. And it takes a while to expel all of that and start to get back to, normal, what I consider normal now, that before that was normal. So I do that. And it doesn't feel like a sacrifice where I'm restricting myself foods. I'm eating what I want to eat and what makes me feel good and energized and light. And that's my preference. Yeah,
it's amazing how good you can feel when you know what to do and then you can feel that. Yeah. But otherwise you're just in this little mediocre gray zone of feeling rubbish all the time, but you just think that's normal.
Right. So I have to be very mindful when I'm on the road. And sometimes I just won't, if there's nothing that I want to really put in my body, I'll just get some water. And I just won't eat for a while. I'd rather be hungry than eat the garbage.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge for you. Hey, one of the things I wanted to do on the website, how you see those kilos lost, this is how much weight people have lost. And for me, it's not about that. I want you to be better humans, better triathletes. But what I think we need to do is put a scale on the website that says dollars saved by joining the program.
Yeah.
Because you can't be the only two. You've got significant savings, but there'd be more for sure. I think we just probably need to share your spreadsheet around, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's there. The savings is there for probably everybody. I think it's a good idea. You should, because it's something you can't deny.
Yeah, amazing. And increase my pricing is the other thing I've taken from today. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing those figures with me. I am actually blown away. I knew you guys were saving some money, but I honestly didn't think it would be that significant. We're hundreds of dollars above what the Academy costs on a monthly basis. So, all right, we do have doors to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy open on the 8th of July to the 16th. So if you're in the US like these two, that's the 7th to the 15th. But unless you're living under a rock, you should see that across socials, emails, podcast, all the things so you can't miss it. It is the last time that we're opening doors for 2023. I can't believe I'm saying that, honestly. We won't open again until January 2024. So if you want to feel like a supercharged triathlete and save cash on things that you just don't need and have clarity around the things that you do, then you want to head to dietitianapproved.com/academy. It is an investment, yes, absolutely. But if you're like these two, then I'll be saving you more money than the program costs on a monthly basis. So it's basically you're losing money not joining, right?
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you at Power Hour soon. And yeah, good luck for your upcoming races this year. I'm excited to see how you go.
Good talk with you, Kelly and Taryn.
Yep. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Taryn.
Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or want to share with me what you've learnt, email me at podcast@dietitianapproved.com. You could also spread the word by leaving me a review and taking a screenshot of you listening to the show. Don't forget to tag me on social media at dietitian.approved so I can give you a shout out too. If you want to learn more about what we do, head to dietitianapproved.com. And if you want to learn more about the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program, head to dietitianapproved.com/academy. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to helping you smash it in the fourth leg. Nutrition!